I was just really excited to be on a horse. I had surgery on October 31st. I couldn't move anything at all on the left side of my body. I worked with a physiotherapist and an occupational therapist at home, and then I rode every week. It's helped with some of the core muscles so that I could be able to walk again.
I would like to just talk with you just a wee bit more about why horse-to-human counseling is often way more effective than human-to-human counseling.
So we've had children that have gone from a wheelchair to being able to walk independently in less than a year. And I've had their parents tell me the only reason is because they've come here and ridden a pony.
These are the sunglasses.
Right? Really asks your horse to use their back and use their hind end, and that's where their energy comes from. Good, so really even reins, really even legs. That's creating the wall, right?
Therapeutic riding itself got its roots after World War II veterans returned. And it originally started with veterans with typically injuries, physical injuries, amputations and that type of thing. Pretty soon they started to realize the psychological and the emotional benefits that these veterans were receiving from their experience and their time spent with the horses. So then it expanded into people with anxiety, PTSD, depression.
Okay, Sharon, can you just make sure his foot is in the stirrup correctly? That's lovely, thank you.
And we are here to teach these children to ride, and the actual process of learning to ride is the therapy. Yes, these riders have challenges, but we don't stop teaching them how to ride.
Similar to the veterans returning from World War II, the clients that we originally had were people that had perhaps been in a car accident, suffered a traumatic brain injury, or perhaps a stroke, something like that that manifested itself physically. People started to understand the value of therapeutic riding, as it were, and how much more the horse can do for people than just the physical benefits.
I think primarily having to be careful, obviously, of the safety aspect of knowing the physical issues that the riders have. We look at the person as a person, and we teach what we see. So we work within the moment.
I am the mom of Charlotte, and she is 6 years old. And she started riding when she was 3.
This has got to come up. There you go.
Perfect.
Well, no, not that. You can go down a little bit.
He started right after his 3rd birthday. As soon as he turned 3, he was allowed to start the program. So we were waiting for that day, and he started just a few days after his birthday.
You guys are doing great.
One of the biggest physical benefits is because the motion of the horse mimics the motion of the human walk. Okay. So if you have a very young child with mobility challenges, or their walking gait isn't quite the way, a typical child would be, the faster they get on a pony, the sooner they're able to develop the body strength, the control, the balance, the coordination, the core strength that is required to be able to walk independently, or at least improve your walking gait. So that physical benefit is huge. You know, your core gets 2,000 movements in a half-hour session on a horse, and that's amazing. I don't know what other physical exercise will do that. Maybe there's something, but not as much fun as sitting on a horse too, right?
Feet out first. Oh, wow! You got a pro here. Good job.
Say thank you. Can you say thank you to everybody?
You're welcome.
Good job.
Within a few weeks, we noticed his posture changed. He started being able to hold himself a lot more upright. When he's comfortable with it, he can focus more on the games and the riding, which is, he doesn't know it, but which is exercise for him.
Charlotte, when she's riding, she's just doing the therapy without knowing she's doing it so much. And the enjoyment makes it even easier to get her to do additional things because she's just having fun.
The team here that involves the rider, of course, the family and their goals, the therapeutic riding instructor, the volunteers, and the horse. And the horse is the heart of the program for sure.
For some people, some riders, for the first time, they get a connection to something or somebody that kind of gets them, that understands them. So they can make a connection where they possibly can't make a human connection, but they can make a connection with this horse because it seems empathetic to that human.
The horse has one thing that many of the animals don't, and that it's that you can ride them. You can climb on their back, and they are going to move for you. There's nothing quite like the thrill of being on another animal that is moving underneath you, and that right there, hands down, is what the horse can offer.
Working with the horses and training the horses is about getting a connection and getting the horse to understand what we want him to do and seeing if that job that we want him to do suits him. That's a challenge. Isn't it, big man? Eh?
Because horses are herd animals and because they're prey animals, their sense of intuition is what keeps them alive and has kept them so for hundreds of years. So that's why horses are really good at horseplay. That's why they're really good at equine assisted learning, because their intuition, they mirror our emotion, our feelings, and our thoughts. They can detect sadness, happiness, anger, pride, pain, suffering, and it's our job as the EAL coach to recognize what the horse is saying.
It's more the volunteers that have an impact on the horses. The horses themselves are used to being ridden. However, they're not necessarily used to being ridden and led at the same time, while somebody else, me, the instructor in the middle of the arena, is telling everybody what to do. It's a very complicated career for our horses, and that's why they're just so worth their weight in gold.
Thank you, Ladybug. Okay, let's go.
See ya, Connor.
They have to want to be with people, and some horses don't. For a therapy horse, they have to be comfortable and want to be with people and enjoy the interactions with humans. They have an amazing ability to understand that interaction with humans.
We have to have horses that don't necessarily go to their flight instinct right away. So being prey animals, horses are flight animals, not fight animals. So we want to select a horse that is more easygoing in their attitude and can take in a lot of exterior information and process it in a calm way and not react quite so suddenly as some horses might.
Our children especially have a lot of therapies. They go to the physiotherapist, they see a lot of doctors, they see a lot of cold, hard waiting rooms. When they come here, it's just a feeling of, I'm gonna get emotional. When they come here, it's not therapy, you know, so they get a chance to play with their horses and sing. We play games and ride, and they communicate with their horses, and it's a great softness.
Walk on.
Walk on, very good.
This one just triggers all those tiny little muscles with the movement of the horse that normal movements, doing stairs and climbing, might not get.
We've noticed especially just her posture change. So when she started riding, she was more hunched, but now she's very erect. So just being able to engage her core more effectively than what she would from kind of other activities.
The emotional and the cognitive benefits are outstanding. For example, people with autism, people with traumatic brain injury, people with emotional challenges, mental health issues. People can come here and really bond to that horse and really find a connection. And that's why, like, almost anybody with a diagnosis can ride a horse.
A horse is sort of like your other half. Okay, and what I mean by that is, so a horse is like your best friend and your partner at the same time.
Dylan came to us 10 years ago from another therapeutic riding center. We were able to offer him a sport riding program. He wanted to compete more and do more.
Every day is a different lesson, or there's some new challenges that come up.
Dylan has cerebral palsy, and he's legally blind. He loves the horses, and they treat him with respect, and he respects them, and it's a great relationship.
Right, those two words.
He's a really interesting guy because he doesn't let anything slow him down or anything stop him. He is very brave. He rides here twice a week. He's fallen off a few times and he'll just get right back on and keep on going.
Slow, Dylan. And then I want you to post a little bit slower.
I can see him out there and he's talking to the horses. He'll just talk to them nonstop.
Sometimes talk about something that I cannot tell a person, but I can talk to a horse because I know they can't talk back, except they can like listen to with what you have to say. The reason why I started horseback riding was because I needed like some physio. So I did horseback riding until I was 14, then I took like a year off. But then after that, I got back into it because it helps me to walk better. The horses are also your eyes at the same time too. Like when it's dark or night, they can see where they're going a lot better than we can.
Stretch up and touch the leaves. Go on, stretch. Yes, well done. Okay, off you go. All right, you ready? You got your reins again? No, stand up.
Okay, darling.
Good job. And sit. 1, 2, 3, walk on. Good. Hands off the saddle, Mickey.
Today we got independent movement of arms, we got eyes, and the thrilling thing, they managed to move their hands without looking down at their hands, actually kept their eyes looking where they were going, which was a massive thing. Very exciting. And they did that all while having lots of fun.
Circle there, Kaylin. Give it a little more room. Keep the heels down here, buddy. Got yourself standing on your toes a little.
You know, just from spending half an hour on a horse, they come off that horse, their ability to concentrate, their ability to focus on a task is increased. We encourage them to make decisions, to learn life skills such as communication, whether they can speak or not. We have a lot of riders that are nonverbal, some even who have said their first words to their horse. They might not talk to us, but they'll talk to their horse, and that's incredible.
That's a good
girl.
Nice work.
It helped her with her speech first, was what we noticed, more than physio, because they encouraged her to say walk on or these other things that were very repetitive compared to sitting in speech therapy, and she was engaged because there was an action or reaction to the thing that she said.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Good job.
Good job. Now what do you say?
What the?
Good job.
Thank you. Walking on.
Nice work.
In the therapeutic riding, she really focuses on her core, and that allows her to be stronger and then helps with any of her coordination and her balance and everything with the walking. So we've really noticed that she's really straight up and her posture is better, and it kind of all around has improved.
We have a selection of horses that are absolutely amazing, and they are very different, each and every one. They enjoy being with humans. They want to interact with humans. If the horse does not enjoy, they don't stay.
Hold your reins. Good job. Look where you're going, riders. You don't want to crash into a tree. Hands down, Annie. Where's that?
The therapeutic riding and the horses, they're absolutely amazing. The horses' personalities and the way that they're so stoic, and they work with they understand what the rider's needs, and the tolerance to the rider's needs is amazing. This is changing people's lives.
Thank you, girl. Come on, Mason. That's it. Very good. Okay. Here we go.
I was fortunate enough to have a father who loved horses, and so that gave him the wonderful excuse to support me learning to ride as a child and eventually getting a horse when I was 12. The best times in my life were the quiet moments at night in the barn with my horse. It was always where I was happiest, where I felt the most competent and confident. That was true companionship. I've always been involved with horses. It's been lifelong.
Good. Yep, next.
I taught riding and did camps and those kinds of things as a child through Pony Club. And I developed a career separate from the horses, which then started to come together as I started to see the possibility of horses offering something that I couldn't offer in the office. And so after being in practice a period of time, I started to find out about this new field of combining people and horses and found that took me in a whole new direction.
Je vais les mettre en situation relationnelle avec le cheval. Ça va me permettre de voir comment la personne interagit avec ses proches, comment elle interagit avec des gens de son entourage, parce qu'elles vont reproduire les mêmes perceptions qu'elles ont sur les gens de leur entourage avec les chevaux.
Mindfulness, meditation, also, that became a part of it. It was like spontaneous mindfulness was happening as we worked with people and horses.
Moi, j'ai vécu 2 heures de consultation avec Sandra en privé, toute seule avec un cheval, à un moment de ma vie où j'étais éparpillée, disons. J'ai vraiment connecté avec qui je suis profondément. Des fois, dans un bureau avec juste quelqu'un qui nous pose des questions, puis tout ça, en tout cas, moi, j'ai plus de difficultés à être vraiment plus dans mon ressenti. Tandis qu'avec le cheval, bien, si je suis dans ma tête, ça fonctionne pas. J'ai juste déposé mes mains sur lui, puis je l'ai flatté. Puis je sais pas trop comment l'expliquer, mais j'ai vraiment connecté avec mon essence. C'est que ça m'a permis de changer beaucoup de choses dans ma vie à partir de cet instant-là.
The other thing that horses do that's very unique to what people do is they read intention first. Monty Roberts teaches us that a horse can read your intention from up to a 1/4 mile away. So the horse sees you approaching and reads your intention and has already deduced what you're coming there for. And they read whether your intent is to control them, to join with them, to partner with them, to exert authority over them. And is it any wonder that some of them might move away? So does this hypersensitivity to environmental cues and cues allow horses to perceive things that humans cannot?
Horses were not a part of my counseling practice. I would have these times in working with people where the horses would show up and do something that I didn't know how to do. So there was a handful of times that I would bring the horses in and just offer them. And they would brush them or, clean their paddocks or just be around them. And inevitably something would happen in that made a difference. I couldn't explain it, but it would happen.
When you're around a horse, if you feel uncomfortable and you're trying to fake it, you really can't do that because the horse reflects kind of my emotional state when I'm near the horse. And so that really, it's just really powerful in a therapy setting.
Having a horse involved in therapy increases the opportunity for a natural kind of healing to emerge in somebody. There is something about being outside and with horses that generates many, many more possibilities for healing than within the confines of an office.
There are several added values. One is certainly that horses seem to be able to accomplish breakthroughs with some people whose injuries are quite severe, where human interventions and efforts to assist have not succeeded.
On a fait une revue des pratiques au Canada et sur la scène internationale. C'est justement un défi, hein. Chacun des programmes que nous, on a regardés, il y a des aspects positifs. C'est très large comme façon de faire. Est-ce qu'il y en a une qui est meilleure que l'autre? Bien, c'est un peu ça qu'on essaye de découvrir actuellement, là. Quel est le meilleur format pour un programme, justement, en thérapie assistée par le cheval?
I'd found those amazing times where the horses offered something that I couldn't when I really didn't know what to do with someone in a desperate situation, but I didn't know how to do it formally. And then I studied with Linda Kahanoff. About 4 years, I traveled back and forth to Arizona studying with Linda, who was really a key person in the field in starting to work with the horse as a sentient being, bringing the horse in fully in who they are and what they offer to us in a much more free way. And I was landing in something that was real, it was core. Whatever you called it, there was something there in that connection that people would find in themselves, with the horse, with the environment. And I came to understand horses in a different way.
La valeur ajoutée du cheval, c'est vraiment le fait qu'il réagit à l'incohérence. Alors, si la personne est dans ses mécanismes de défense, il va avoir une incohérence ressentie par le cheval. C'est que ça me permet de voir qu'est-ce qui se passe, comment la personne interagit avec les gens. Puis ça me permet de lui poser des questions sur est-ce que la réaction du cheval te rappelle ou te fait penser à des réactions de certaines personnes.
C'est comme si j'ai voulu l'approcher, qu'il ignore. En dessus, j'ai fait OK, je suis pas adéquate, je fais pas la bonne chose, puis je vais. Le fait vraiment qu'il fasse comme je m'en fous, pouah, un sentiment de rejet total. C'est fou, je fais ça.
Est-ce que tu seras à l'aise que je t'accompagne à aller vers lui?
Le cheval sent qu'il y a quelque chose de pas authentique et il va moins s'intéresser, du moins il va moins collaborer avec la personne.
J'en ai eu de la colère pendant des années à propos de ça, tu sais. Puis je pensais avoir fait une certaine paix, mais là, quand j'ai vu, là,
C'est un exemple qui est flagrant, que la majorité des vétérans sont capables de constater. Ils vont arriver, par exemple, au centre équestre un matin, pas de bonne humeur parce que, bon, le trafic va avoir été infernal ou le petit va avoir réagi de telle façon en maison. Puis, ils vont tout de suite être en mesure de voir la réaction du cheval. En tentant de l'approcher, le cheval va virer talon, puis va aller brouter de l'herbe un peu plus loin, puis ne voudra pas participer à la séance. Donc là, le reflet par le professionnel en santé mentale, par le spécialiste équin du comportement du cheval, là, le vétéran commence à saisir, ouais, c'est peut-être vrai que je suis trop en colère, le cheval est très réactif, réagit à ça, il s'en va. Si je réagis comme ça avec ma femme, mes enfants, ben, peut-être qu'ils ont des raisons de tourner talon puis pas vouloir être autour de moi.
For me, as a clinician, I get excited about things that seem to do a better job than what we might accomplish person to person. And I try very hard to open my mind to things that I may not understand fully, but sure seem to be achieving some remarkable outcomes.
Pour moi, le cheval, c'est vraiment un partenaire. Je veux qu'il puisse réagir à l'état de présence de la personne. Je veux qu'il soit libre de s'exprimer.
The horse is a partner and a co-therapist. They're not a tool.
The horse only tells the truth. So it serves as a powerful, powerful mirror to people in a way of helping them to see how they come across to others. He serves as a supportive companion who will help you see truth in the spirit, really, of being totally honest with you.
The notion of working with horses was something really foreign to me. And so when I had an opportunity to actually work with Deborah in that way, it was just, as I said, life-changing.
How are you now? What are you aware of when you check your body and you check into that? What we're trying to do is have people's systems start to remember how to heal themselves, to remember wellness, to be able to find the health that they hold in their system. If they come and blow gently on an area of somebody's body that has been harmed, has been injured, that's in pain, and they know without being told, I know they know more than I do. When horses know exactly the timing of how to approach and intervene, then I know that they're aware of more than I am. And when you look at her now, can you still feel what it was like to be in with her?
Yes.
Okay, you can feel them starting to dissolve. Okay, just track that. Just notice that. Just see how that feels.
I was a rolling ball of stress. And Paisley drew all of the tension. Well, not all of it, but all of that horrible, horrible feeling out of my body. And I stood there and I shook for I don't know how long. Deborah was there, I was safe, I knew what was happening, and it was just like having a horse clean out your carpet, except I was the carpet. Breathe. All right.
When you have an experience as a human, having some words to put on it at some point is helpful. And so I will often ask somebody, is there a moment that stands out? And just get a few words about that and then have them go back to that moment and see if they remember the feeling in their body, the smell in the air, maybe the feeling of the horse under their hand, and see if we can embody that moment so the words become something to help them take that away.
The horse has the ability to read not just your intention, but your emotional state, often long before you could put words to how you are feeling. The horse will know that in advance. And I believe that when they listen to people and absorb those stories of grief and pain and remorse and loss, that they do vicariously absorb that trauma, and that we must take care of the horse in as much as we would take care of the people. Making sure that we choose horses that are talented and suited and enjoy doing the work. Being responsible for the care of the horse, making sure that we spend quality time where we are not asking the horse to be in therapeutic mode. Fun is really important. And of course, as we would with humans, making sure that we're taking care of the horse's physiological needs, feeding them well. And even those small measures are ones that I think are critical to horses who are doing therapy work and therapeutic work with humans.
C'est pas parce que je suis psychoéducatrice et que j'ai été cavalière que je peux mettre des clients en lien avec les chevaux. Mais j'ai aussi besoin d'aller travailler comment intervenir pour mettre ces deux êtres vivants-là en collaboration.
I see more partnerships where if we are a horse clinician, we must partner with somebody who understands trauma injury and people in therapeutic intervention. And if we are a therapist, that doesn't mean we could put a horse in our backyard and say, oh, well, now I do equine assisted intervention. We really need to have that understanding, whether it is in one person or two, that is a solid understanding of both equines and people.
It's also a bit dicey because there are so many people who have gotten into this work that may not have the skills to do what they offer.
Je crois que la première étape va être une organisation du domaine des thérapies assistées par le cheval. Est-ce qu'on est une section qui pourrait être du mieux-être, du bien-être, de la qualité de vie, plus spécifique à certains aspects moins thérapeutiques un peu? Une autre section qui serait beaucoup plus thérapeutique en soi, basée sur un modèle qui s'apparente beaucoup plus à la psychothérapie. Donc ça, l'organisation, c'est nécessaire.
We must be cautious that not all clinicians can do this work and not all horses can either.
Ça fait très longtemps que j'ai la passion des chevaux. J'en ai toujours fait, même étant petite. Quand j'ai laissé mon emploi à l'hôpital, c'est que j'avais commencé à être malade. On m'a découvert une masse au niveau de la cervicale, mais bon, c'est correct, je suis suivie de près. Il n'y a pas moyen d'opérer non plus. Donc, je commençais à filer de moins en moins bien, beaucoup de fatigue. Je commençais à faire un peu de dépression. Je travaillais plus. Le travail, c'était comme ma vie. Aztec, mon cheval à moi, elle venait comme me chercher la main pour que je la flatte. Elle venait se coller juste tout le temps là. On n'en revenait pas. Je dis, voyons donc, ça se peut-tu qu'elle ressente vraiment ma peine? J'avais le cœur tellement gros, j'avais l'impression qu'il était pour exploser. Moi, je suis certaine qu'il ressent des choses que même l'être humain ne peut pas ressentir. Quand il y a des journées que je vais pas bien, soit que j'ai de la douleur ou que je suis inquiète pour ma santé ou je sors dehors puis je vais me coller sur elle puis ça se fait automatiquement. Ça peut pas, ça s'explique pas. Elle me fait un bien immense. Juste à la flatter, à la brosser, à la caresser, ça va déjà mieux. Ça me fait passer le restant de la journée merveilleusement bien. Elle est comme mon médicament, elle est mon médecin, elle est ma psychologue, elle est ma thérapeute de tous les jours. Puis c'est elle qui me permet d'être heureuse, finalement. Oui, que je t'aime, toi. Oui. Ah.
The doctors found a ping pong ball-sized tumor in my brain, in the middle of it, attached to the brainstem. When I first woke up from surgery, I couldn't move anything on the left side of my body. And I was riding a horse, not this one. It has helped with balance and core muscle, to be able to walk and jump and play and hike and being able to move a lot better. What they feel is dependent on what you feel. And for me, that meant like learning to be able to control my emotions better. It added a sense of comfort as well, because I had someone to talk to and someone to listen to everything, and they wouldn't try to interject anything if I didn't want them to. Just kind of a bond with someone close who you kind of made it up in your head, I guess, that there was someone there who understood exactly what was happening to you. But it felt a little bit more real. He wasn't judgmental. He didn't care at all about what I could do and what I couldn't do. He just kind of sat and listened and loved, and it felt really nice.
Double check everything. Well, I was diagnosed with MS in, I think, 1996. The head of UBC Hospital, of the MS department, he wishes everyone with MS could ride. It, just the body language, and it keeps the muscle memory there. It keeps the strength there. And I think that's one of the reasons that I still really want to keep riding is, well, it's part of my life, but it's helping me to continue on and stay strong physically and mentally. Having MS is pretty tough sometimes. Yeah. Okay, Barbie, come on. I think they really do know what you're going through. They just seem to do something to your energy and, of course, to your heart. As long as you treat them with kindness and respect, I think they'll always be your best friends. Good girl. You're a good girl.
Come on, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. You want to stay out, I know. Okay, good boy. Come on. Come on. There you go. Before I actually started riding, I was really very lost. Very, very lost. There you go. It was about 7 or 8 years after my son passed. And I needed something where I could give and I could feel I was making a difference in somebody or something's life. And my horse came off. He'd been a 5-6 year racer, a saddle racer, a jockey racer. Getting up in the morning it sometimes can be difficult, but getting ready to come and spend time with my horse is just exuberating, I guess you'd say. I look forward to it so much, and we have such good times when I'm here, and the camaraderie of other people, but it's the horses we're all here for. Having lost my son, there's always that hole that can never be filled. And he doesn't completely fill it, but he certainly helps. He helps feel the love, you know, unconditional love, I guess, is sort of what it is. And certainly that's what I could always have felt from my children, was unconditional love. Right? Huh? Yes. He lifts my spirit, makes me feel happy and loved. And as I say, unconditional love is something that isn't always easy to find. And he's just always there.
Stay here, sweetie. You have the rest of the day to yourself, okay? All right. Have a drink of water. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll go for a trail ride tomorrow with your buddies, okay? Go with your buddies.
The horse is just a quiet, silent contributor who shows a different way of looking at the things that you've experienced. We don't understand that fully yet, but that doesn't mean it isn't happening.
You're so cute.